Good video. Are we live? We're going live.
Well, we're live here, but if you're watching this on YouTube, it's recorded.
It's recorded. It's not that live.
Right.
But live here tonight, let's have a nice warm welcome for Glenn!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In case you've never seen me performing here before now, I've been coming here since October last year, so there's a good chance that you have seen me by now. But if you're a visitor to this pub, I do comedy most weeks when I'm available to come here. So it's been interesting, the news this week, since I've been here 2 weeks ago. Nike and first of all messed about with the St. George flag, didn't they? And now Adidas has done exactly the same for the Team GB Union Jack, haven't they? I mean, why are these companies going so woke? I can't understand it. It's, personally, I boycott those companies, but that's up to you at the end of the day if you want to boycott them. There's a saying, isn't it? Go woke, go broke. So, on to the jokes now with this fella goes into the pub. He says, I'll have a scotch, please, barman. He says, but what I want is I want a 12-year-old scotch. So, he says, okay. So he goes to the bottle and pulls out a 4-year-old scotch whiskey. Pulls it out, the bloke drinks it, he says, oh, that's only a 4-year-old whiskey that you've given me. He says, I want another one, but I want it to be 12 years old whiskey. So he thought, right, I'll try again. So he pulls out another one that was 8 years old. And he says, oh, you're trying it again, you've given me an 8-year-old whiskey. So he says, hang on, sir. So the barman goes to his cellar, comes back, he said, there you go, try that. So he drinks it, he said, oh, that tastes like piss. He says, how old am I? So, I see some of you got that, it was worth it, wasn't it? So for those of you who like one-liners, Titanic, that's one-liner, isn't it? And unlike the last joke, that's sunk. Right. So since after I've performed, there's musical acts after me, isn't there? So I thought of a few puns with some musical humour for you. Yeah, you like that? And then I'll get on to do some impressions for you. So, here we go. Bit of advice for you. Never play cards with Lady Gaga. She's got a poker face. And her last... She broke up from her last boyfriend because it was a bad romance. Well, according to the paparazzi, anyway. This bloke was offered a Beyonce a lift home. So he goes to the intersection and he says, right, so Beyonce, which way do I have to go now? She says, to the left, to the left. Oh dear. So I could see a few people enjoying the music jokes already. Yeah, I tell you what, I remember, Nat King Cole came out with a song called Unforgettable. You know something, I can't remember how it goes. Oh dear. So with some impressions, now, has everybody seen Family Guy before, yeah? Yeah, brilliant. So at least one person has, right. And do you remember Mock of the Week? Yeah, Mock of the Week, that used to be on BBC, but don't make it anymore. But I tell you what, Mock of the Week, yeah. with Dara O'Briain, because in a moment I'll be doing Dara O'Briain impression. So they used to do something called scenes we'd like to see, don't they? Where they could ask, well, I'll ask one person what scene they'd like to see. I mean, those scenes like things you would expect to hear said from a hospital. For example, I'll give you a couple of examples in that. Doctor, I can't feel my legs. That's because we amputated your arms. And good news and bad news, we've had to amputate your feet because of your diabetes. What's the good news, Doc? The bloke in the next bed wants to have your slippers. So there you go. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a mashup tonight with Month of the Week and Family Guy. I mean, when I was here last time, I did Little Britain characters on Big Brother. So here's a bit of a mashup now with Family Guy does Mock the Week. Well, right now on Mock the Week, we have the Griffin family and a couple of other guests with us for Mock the Week's scenes we'd like to see. And as a change from the Mock the Week, we're going to ask one person to name a category. So, what category would you like? Anybody?
Well, you should.
Because I'm doing this for improvisation, so.
Take away food, sir.
Take away food. Things that you hear in a takeaway. Okay, that for those of you watching this in America, that's takeout. So yeah, they do call it takeout. So here we go. So Family Guy is coming up with it. So here we go. Scenes we'd like to see. Things you would not hear said in a takeaway. I say, Brian, under the Cool Whip. Why do you pronounce it like that? My God, emphasizing on a H. Why do you do that? Cool Whip. I just like to wind you up, dog. So, you want Cool Whip? You're not having any starters? Well, I'm starting with you, aren't I, Brian? So, and then you got Peter Griffin. Yeah. I went and took Lois, and Lois's mother says, "Excuse me, waiter, do you serve crab?" And he says, "No, we serve anybody." So, and then we've got, how's about Lois Griffin? That's Peter Griffin's wife. Oh, Peter, that's an awful thing to say about my mother, isn't it? What do you think of that, Dad? Oh, that's it. I mean, nobody puts my woman in the corner, do they? Eh? That's me. Mr. Pewter-Schmitt, yes, of course, be careful how you say that, especially if you've had a few already. I mean, you know, I am Carter Pewter-Schmitt after all. That's Lois's dad. And also, what about Chris Griffin, in the same vein? Waiter! What's this fly doing in my soup? Giggity, 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 well. Looks like it's doing a backstroke. Oh yeah! By the way, that was Quagmire for Family Guy fans. And, of course, the final one is Cleveland. Oh yes, well here we go. What is this on the menu? Well, that's a bit of gravy. We can all soon wipe that off, can't we? So there you go, that's Family Guy doing a bit of Mock the Week. However, there's more impressions to come. I mean, do you remember Bugs? You remember the Looney Tunes cartoons, don't you, with Bugs Bunny and all that, yeah? So, yeah, right. I came out with a sketch that I've done over and over again, and it's a very popular one, so this is what I'm going to do for those of you who've never seen this before. You know the film, the James Bond film, where Sean Connery goes, "You expect me to talk, Goldfinger?" Right? Well, what if Looney Tunes did their own version, and they'd have to call it Gold Carrot, wouldn't they? And who could play Gold Carrot? Elmer Fudd. Yeah? And of course, Bugs Bunny is James Bond, and this is how Gold Carrot would be in the same situation. Yeah. You expect me to talk, Gold Carrot? No, Mr. Bunny Rabbit. I expect you to die. I thought you'd have going. Yeah. And of course, there's Speedy Gonzales. Yeah. My name's Speedy Gonzales, the fastest mouse in all Mexico. Yeah. I've just gone and bought a Mexican carpet. Underlay! And Arnold Schwarzenegger was on the beach and getting a suntan, and he hands over a bottle of suntan lotion to his wife, and he says to her, she says to him first, she says, "What am I supposed to do with this, Arnie?" He says, "Oil me back." I thought you'd like that one. I mean, there's another one about Arnold Schwarzenegger I told 2 weeks ago, and I'll tell it again for you, for those of you who weren't here, or for those of you who couldn't believe it last time. Arnold Schwarzenegger is at the supermarket, paying for his groceries, and the woman at the checkout, she says, "How are you going to pay for your groceries, Mr. Schwarzenegger?" He holds up his debit card and he goes, "Has to be Visa, baby." And I think that's it for tonight. So I hope that you've enjoyed the comedy, and as Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "I'll be back."
Awesome. Let's have a round of applause once more for Glenn. Good job, man. And cut.